Alrighty then. Hello everybody. This is the Friend of the Ghost. I'm going to be playing Slay the Princess. It's a visual novel. I've been told that the narrator is the same guy that plays Jonathan Sims in the Magnus Archive, so that'll be fun to see. Let's hop in and get started. I've never played this game, so whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions, there are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. It's very pretty music. Let me... turn off flickering. I don't know what that means, Silk. Accessibility. Alright. Self-voicing. Nah, I want to listen to the listen to the guys talking. So, yep, new game.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Hold on, let me... ignore what I'm doing, I'm just trying to... Yeah, cool. Now I can see chat alright.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Alright, so the end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered maybe the only reason she's going in the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget this, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always wanted to offer Monarch. Viva la Revolution. Continue to the cabin, turn around and leave. Listen, I have to turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Sure. Okay, fine, you're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and I'll slay the princess. Fine, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her, maybe I won't. I guess we'll see. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. Gonna go walk in the opposite direction now. Quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever. Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Wait, so both of them are voiced by Jonathan Sims. That's great.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
Damn.
How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
This is like visual novel Stanley Parable, and I'm kind of here for it. Turn around and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Yep.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Okay. I don't care, I'm not killing a princess. Good. Maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into this. Or continue down the path.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that. fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
There's no fighting this, is there? I have to go into the cabin, don't I? Fine. Or, oh yeah? Well, I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm gonna keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place. Listen, normally I wouldn't waste everyone's time, but the fact that they allow me to is great.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
That's nice.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Yes, viva la revolution.
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
That is a correct assumption about my attitudes. I absolutely care about irritating you. Also, I love that the music is slowly getting more discordant. Like it's just slowly more and more out of tune.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
Yeah.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness, but it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Oh, that sucks.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Did they put up a wall? I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this already happened before? Okay, no. You weren't kidding. She actually ended the world last time, didn't she? What the hell is she? Oh, you bastard, you're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks. But I died. The whole world ended. What am I doing here? I might actually pick that one. These walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin. Or to lie. Yep, okay. Heading to the cabin where I'm definitely going to slay that princess. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to the cabin. Or silently proceed to the cabin. I do like the... Wait, but I died. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead, and that the princess has yet to end the world, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And to answer your question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Interesting. I know it says voice of the hero, but I wonder... Like, is the hero aware of us, the player? Are we supposed to be the hero? Like,
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
oh, there's 4 of us now. So me, the player, the narrator, the hero, and the contrarian.
The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Interesting. Those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me. Go into the cabin. Go to the cabin.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Let's keep an open mind. The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with.
The music is so pretty.
I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that, but when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world.
The narrator reminds me of, like, just people from corporate, like, oh yeah, no, this is how you're supposed to do your job and these are the tools you're supposed to do it within this time frame. But how do you expect me to do this in this time frame with these tools? I don't know. That's your job description. You have to figure it out.
And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her.
I'm not scared, I'm intrigued.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves?
Is everything getting wigglier? Like, were the edges of things that wiggly before?
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
He didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. Approach the mirror, take the blade into the basement.
Ooh, we should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun? You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Yeah, the mirror is also the one thing that isn't wiggly. Like, if you look at the edge of the door and the edge of the window. That's the only thing.
There's definitely a mirror. there isn't. You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
Ooh.
I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Ooh, I have like bird arms. That's cool, or lizard arms.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
I wonder if the princess knows about the mirror. I'm not gonna take the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die.
I mean, if we don't do this, we are gonna die, because the world's gonna end, so onward.
We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
The harsh staircase, the center staircase, or the soft staircase? I'm gonna take the harsh staircase, because if the princess is trapped down here, then it makes more sense that she wouldn't be at the bottom of the easy to climb staircase.
You step to the left. The path is cruel against your feet, the impact of each step sending pulsing vibrations up your legs, until there's nothing left in them to feel. The air around you grows cold the further you progress. At first a barely noticeable drop, quickly evolving into a numbing cold. Your toes feel like blocks of ice, your breaths puff out in clouds of condensed vapor. You shudder against it as you continue down the stairway, losing yourself in the bone-deep chill. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
I like how the art style is getting slowly more bare bones. That's really cool.
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you just going to stand there?
Hi.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways.
if the contrarian dies at the end of this, and it's like sad and dramatic, I'm gonna be really mad.
The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And, why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems... normal.
Yes, glowing eyes seem normal. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was here. What's your name? Getting down here was weird, like I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me? For all I know, you're locked up down here for a good reason. Do you know why you're down here? You're apparently a threat to the world. I'm sent here to slay you. What's her name?
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
There are actually... Your Royal Highness is actually the correct princess, but that's only because I do some research for my writing.
You can call me Princess, if you'd like.
Oh, I don't like that noise.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another.
Oh, that noise hurt.
We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time?
Well, we haven't been in the cabin before. We were outside of it.
Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it.
We weren't down here last time.
It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now.
So is she gonna end the world by fracturing it into different realities?
Oh, new plan! Let's see if we can make even more of her.
He's gonna die. I'm sorry, the comedic reliefs either... Like he's gonna die. There's more of you now. Getting down here was weird. You're locked up down here for a reason. But you will. I'm getting you out of here. Bizarre. I don't know what you are, I can't trust you, and I can't trust anything here or retrieve the blade. Let's see if I can click that.
That's not right. Go on. Take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride.
So, I'm looking at the different faces. We have pretty much neutral, a little bit sad, maybe a little worried, kind of smug and impatient, super sad, and super creepy smile with her hair in front of her face.
You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
That's it. That's so cool. They managed to make a sentence. Oh, I have the dagger in my hand now. That's cool. They made a sentence sound like the different fracturing realities. Strike at her bindings. Stay upstairs. I slay here and I leave her to languish alone. That's dope.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all.
Cool, so yeah, she ended the world because everything fractured.
Falls apart? I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
I'm sad I stopped.
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others, they just don't fit. They just don't fit.
This is so cool.
We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
Try.
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
I mean, it's a video game, but
It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
it's gonna be okay. I'll do my best. I don't think you're supposed to be fixed. No. Just destroyed everything. I'm not gonna fix you and say nothing. I'm gonna try. Oh. Got the illusion of choice. When everything is possible, nothing is. But we don't know if she had the chance to hear you reply. She's gone to replace with something that makes the mirror.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. The narrator's gone. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror approach.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No, don't do that.
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we even go about looking for her.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. Then what the hell are we supposed to do? He is. Does that mean the world ended? Again, what the hell are we supposed to do? I'm begging you, don't do this.
We don't have much else to do.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
I approached the mirror. Yeah, I am a bird person. Cool. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. I gotta change the text size. Hold on. Yeah, now I can see. It's me! Yeah, so I'm like a harpy. Cool. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. You are at the cabin.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Yeah, what's a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths unwalked. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
This is the end of the world. Let her out of there.
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
That's valid.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Sure.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
So I have to do other timelines then. How many more pieces?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
So, I have to do more than this route, but not all of them. Cool.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Yeah, of course.
You won't.
Everything goes dark and I die. Bring the stranger to her. Nice.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab or R1. Okay. Well, I don't have a controller, but I have tab, so. The end of the world.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
I'm not gonna put Princess locked in the basement in the world. If you don't tell me why she's here, someone kill her. Do you have any evidence? Let's see.
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
How do you know that's the end? Why do all routes have to be important? Yeah, maybe I'll slay her.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
I I will. Fuck you. I probably.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
To the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Hold on. Sorry, my mom was trying to call. Okay, so explore.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Alright, so my mom is calling, so I'm gonna pause this real quick and talk to my mom because it's been a bit, but I'll be back on in a second. Alright, sorry. I'm so sorry about that. My mom called and I don't get to talk to her very often. So, let's get back to it.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi, just checking in on you. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you. Can you get downstairs?
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
Say, I don't remember this one when it was all chat.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Maybe. What? No way, why would you think that? Yeah, you got me here, so you... Nuh-uh. Haven't decided yet, I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
We'll be fine.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Oh, yes? Can I do this one without sounding like I don't want it? What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Oh, yeah?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
That's what you're saying. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
Cutting off her hand? Maybe.
She is. I'm sure of it.
I love how they don't specifically say cutting off her hand. They're letting the player draw their own conclusions. You're here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
They have not. What are you gonna do if I let you out of here? I've been told enough. That was when you told me. No, they have the reasons.
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful.
Try me.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay, so there is a cabin around here. If there's a key, do you have any other ideas? Check upstairs. Sure.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Hey, let me out or try the door.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Did you lock the door, Mr. Narrator?
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
So, I am a trans man. And I've heard that sentence about people who are trans. Or really any sort of LGBT, but just typically trans. It would be easier if you just acted like your assigned gender. So... I'm gonna keep playing, but this feels almost like a dreams allegory.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Yeah.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
Boss man?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah, it was. I got a new ending. That wasn't even an ending. Chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
That's what deja vu means.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
The skeptic.
I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that
When
way.
did the skeptic show up? Was he in the last part?
You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
How much it wasn't too loud. It's more than deja vu. Proceed to the cabin, turn around and leave.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
I did say something really mean to you because you're not a nice person.
Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Shut your face on.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts. Just be quick about it. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
But I like complicating things.
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
I still choose to believe that he's the bad guy.
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
I don't like the narrator.
Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
You're being caged.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
Fine.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud?
That was great.
No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
The mirror's back.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Where did Contrarian go?
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details. I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon. Are you sure? She killed us with it last time. What if she turns it against us again? Yes, I'm sure, and I've already got a plan for that. Still with those past life delusions, are we? I hope part of that plan is don't give the world any monstrosity your only weapon, because unless you've decided to arm the princess, I don't think you need to worry about her having a weapon. Peachy, we'll be fine. Okay, I'm trusting you. Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go.
Interesting. I hate you. Interesting.
Wonderful. You do exactly that, sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding to the basement. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
Does she?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless. That was there last time too, wasn't it? It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Listen.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease. You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles. I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't.
The narrator changes too. The last one was a lot more demanding and mean.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much.
Well, I'm not a pussy, so...
Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't. Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter. Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
I don't know if I like the skeptic.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Yes, you know my intentions.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
Very interesting questions.
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her. Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
The bags under her eyes seem a lot darker than the last one.
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world. I wouldn't do that if I were you. And why is that? Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is? And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it? I don't know. Maybe it will. He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate. But what if he's telling the truth? He isn't. I am.
Do I want to look at the shackle again? Here's the thing, I do like playing the contrarian myself. I like going against the narrator. If we do get stuck, I don't know how much help will be to the princess. And that's more important to me.
Good. Forget you ever saw it.
Nice try, but I won't. Specifically because you told me to.
What happened after I died?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
I trust her a lot more than the last one.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Yeah, but she's chained up.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. Whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Fine, trust her.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
You tried this last time. Do you want to know how it went for you?
Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world, right?
Oh, we've already tried to take over, buddy.
Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand and do it ourselves. I'm not afraid of dying again. Are you?
A little. I think you got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat. What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No. You close your eyes. That doesn't stop you from hearing every grisly detail. The splitting of skin, the wet mulching of severed veins, the grinding of metal against bone. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
We don't know that she's dead yet. We're not even watching it happen. She could just be faking those sounds.
And then, finally, you hear a snap and an uneasy silence. There is a slow and fleshy tear. Hard to fake that.
I mean, it can't be that hard because I hope they faked it for this game.
This is worse than watching.
And yet our eyes are still closed.
Finally, there's the soft thud of something roughly head-sized bouncing against the floor, and the clattering of chains as they drop along with it. I think you can open your eyes now. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back.
I would say this will get me demonetized, but they're not paying me anyways, so.
The princess's eyes stare up at you, dead. Congratulations! You saved the world. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think?
What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that?
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right?
You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
I'm just keeping... I am. I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already?
I didn't mean to skip those.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
She didn't. She's dead. But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
But I don't wanna...
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already... over? Is he gone?
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Okay, so every time you free the princess, it goes to this.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the only period that's not good for you. Wishes me to be prepared for this mystery. So, if there's no quotes, is that you?
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
No, that can't be right. There has to be something more.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
Cool.
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Okay, so I'm assuming the mirror sections are the ones where we can return her to this thing. So like, we couldn't save her in chapter 1 of this round, because she killed us, but then... Yeah. Are you the same being as before?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
What does it feel to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When this is all done, do you know what you'll do? Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Okay, so I can't go back and retry a scenario, I think is what that means. So like, I can't go back to the spooky cabin, the spooky multi-dimensional cabin, and I can't go back to the stone cabin. I don't know if that also includes chapter 1 in that, so I don't know if I'll be able to go back to the old cabin.
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
What do you feel about me?
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
This is so fucking cute. Oh, I love her. Oh, I love her so much.
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
I love her so much.
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
I love her so much. Oh, she's so cool. I love her. What do you want to
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
So she wants me to give her the experience that I think she should have.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Cool. I hate the sudden loud noises.
You're on a path in the woods.
Cool. Can someone else do this?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
You wish you did.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Yeah, Viva la Revolution.
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Who left the knife for us?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Alright, let's go to the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Good.
Downstairs.
You're still listening to reason.
See, he can't know what I'm thinking.
You
if I
walk
don't
down
say
the
it.
stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
How about no?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
Oh, don't look at me sad.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Then I'm not talking to you.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here. Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around. You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
So the player character is different than the voices. So it's the narrator, me, hero, contrarian, and skeptic.
The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
No, I know it's not.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Okay, so now they're stubborn.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstance the princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal, let's just get on with it already.
I don't like stubborn. Stubborn is the least like what I would actually be saying. So it's like...
The
dude,
cabin
stop
is
talking.
tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Okay, so... It looks like we get to keep seeing what our different choices will do in the first cabin, in the wood cabin. So I think that repeats endlessly. And then phase 2 is always a new thing, and we can save her and send her to the hive mind.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Oh, stop bickering and just get on with it. Who even cares if there's a mirror?
I care less about that and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
No knife this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is. Probably more fair to her anyway. Wouldn't want to feel like we cheated our way to a win.
It's interesting. There was... Hold on, was Contrarian in... Was he in the first wood cabin? I thought he was. But there's no reason why he would be. Oh.
As long as you can still get the job done. And don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulphuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
And the voice has changed too.
Is that another challenger? Finally! It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
Hi. Oh, she's so pretty.
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. But no little knife this time, huh? No, I hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
Yeah, you look different.
Aside from your empty hands, you look exactly the same.
Alright, fine. I believe you. What? What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. That's all the more reason to take this seriously. You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me! I don't remember. Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay! As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Yes. I don't know if I feel bad for the narrator or not, because, like, yeah, he doesn't remember it every time, so he's dying with each world. But, like, he's also been kind of a dick, so... You don't know the depths of my empathy. Yeah, you don't know the depths of my empathy.
You're joking, right? I'm just going to pretend that you're joking.
Yeah, you better be joking. We can't win unless you take this seriously.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I haven't left before.
Oh, you've got another thing coming if you think you can just turn around and leave.
As you step towards the stairs, you hear the heavy creak of straining metal. And then a snap. She's loose. You have to make a decision, and you have to make it fast. You do your best to scramble up the stairs before the princess can reach you. You practically feel her steamy breath on the back of your neck, but you manage just barely to throw yourself over the threshold and slam the heavy stone doors behind you. You're safe, if only for a moment.
The blade. Take the blade from the altar.
You take the blade from the altar.
Finally.
Do you think this door is enough to hold me? You're not getting out of this. I don't care how many things I have to break. I'm getting the fight I want.
The entire cabin shakes as the princess throws herself against the basement door.
It's huge and made of stone. We're fine. Right?
Of course we are. Any second now she's gonna break through that entryway. And we're finally going to get to do what we came here to
I
do.
love the base.
Another impact shakes the cabin, a massive gash splitting its way up the stone doors.
She comes.
The doors explode outwards, shards of stone clattering against the walls as the princess emerges from the basement.
Sorry, I'm just showing the dim lady to my husband.
At least you finally have a weapon. Good.
We're doomed.
I don't care.
In a fit of violence, the princess explodes across the room and closes the gap between you. You do your best to defend yourself from her onslaught. You're sorely outmatched. For every wound you inflict on her, she inflicts 2 on you until, finally, you're no longer able to so much as stand. Your body is giving out.
Giving out? No, nobody's giving out. We're just getting started.
Don't be delusional, it's over. You fall to your knees.
Is that it? You're supposed to be tougher than this. Come on, get up. Keep fighting me.
No, this isn't right. Listen to me. Listen to her. We can do this.
We can't.
Why won't you get up?
She kicks you in the chest, splinters from your shattered ribs stabbing into your heart and lungs. Your vision starts to swim. Finally, her face, twisted into an expression of disappointment and fury, fades.
Oh, did I fuck up?
Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through.
I haven't gotten to chapter 3 before.
It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that.
See, Contrarian is my favorite in terms of, like, humor and personality, but Hunted is super gender.
There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here, are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me.
I love the drumming in the background.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
Okay, I like the music. I put it in the beef Discord. The one with Railroad Maximum. I can't say the title of that. Yeah, I can't say the title of it on my stream. Alright, I'm just turning the music down a little bit because it's loud.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there.
The mirror's blocking where we're
Take it.
supposed to go.
A mirror? But there is no mirror. There's the iron altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. But there isn't a door. There is. Circles, circles, all of it circles. There's something for us at the end of the room. The what and the why don't matter until we know them. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And worst comes to worst,
Nice to
we can
have.
smash it. We can try to survive without our steel claw, but you've marked us as easy prey. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there, it's right in front of you. It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean?
I hope my chair wiggling wasn't too loud.
You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I don't like that they didn't re-record that line for each thing. Like, I get why they didn't. But it's very interesting how it's like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Like, that, it's not the same tone.
Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face droops.
There you are, but still no little knife. Do you think this is a joke? Do you need me to break those fragile bones again to remind you how serious this is?
She's bubbling, hot with rage. We can't get close if we want to live. But we'll be able to draw her out of here. I know I said this earlier, but I really have to stress how thin of a razor's edge you're on right now. We know. The only way out is through the eye of the needle. And we're going to win. We'll need the steel claw. Grab it as we leave. Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow!
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same?
Owie.
Steel claw, now! Without missing a step, you grab the blade from the altar.
So you do want to fight me? Good.
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. so get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me! Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head!
This is so nice. This is such a good story. This is so well written and I love it.
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
Be where she's not. Thank you, Sun Tzu. It's very insightful.
Oh, we'll see about that. Traps aren't real. The only thing that's real is bloodshed.
She charges, fully determined to end you in a single move. Left, now! As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned.
We're actually going to pull this off, aren't we?
You just might, but don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
She's so hot. I love her.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady. More! Keep going! We can't stop now! You spy an opening, but this time she's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us! But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something...
And? She's gone. Where did she go? Should we... But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. That thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror! We just need to find the princess!
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. I'd like to be somewhere nice.
Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me? It does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be, but that doesn't make any of them less special. This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart.
I love her. And I love all incarnations of this woman. She's so cool.
Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for.
Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Honey.
If you need time, then I will wait with you. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
I still hate that sound.
You're on a path in the... You're here.
End of the world, what are you
I'm
talking
talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
You have evidence?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
I still maintain that I can be here for no reason at all, and that's valid. And also, it might not be the end of my journey. Yeah, thanks for telling me what to do.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess.
I'm just gonna skip what I've done already.
The interior of the cabin is almost
I'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Let's go. Round number 3.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
You're not gonna tell me what kind of voice?
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I think I'm here to kill you?
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
Don't say it like that.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Yeah, step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Yeah.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
I mean, neither can we, so...
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Of course not.
It's over. Don't get all worked up. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
You said that last time. You said that when her head got cut off.
You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding your breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one. We definitely won't if you keep talking. I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question? Wait, what was that? You know what that was. That was the sound of a heartbeat, followed by another, and another.
Yep.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Something sharp digs into your side, the shock of it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy.
Cool. I love her sharp teeth.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now.
Here, I'm just saving real quick.
See you around.
Because I'm probably gonna have dinner soon, and I want to make sure I save my progress.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you. For whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Rude.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
Are you flirting with me?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
I don't
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine. A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
We couldn't be more on the money, but we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful.
The voices just keep getting worse and worse.
Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
I want Contrarian back.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
They couldn't get more than one take of that line. That's the one issue that I have with this game.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
It's a pyramid head.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
Grating.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
Ooh, I don't like this yandere shit.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Of course she does.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Her voice sounds doubled. There's a small delay. Like a teeny tiny echo.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right? What? No, I wouldn't stab you. I am just a sweet, innocent princess trapped here for no reason.
Right! And I'm someone who hasn't been through 33 time loops.
And you are a brave knight who's supposed to walk up to, not stabbing distance to help me.
Not stabbing. How do I help you without... I feel like not stabbing distance is further away than helping distance, but... Oh, who does she sound like? She sounds like, She sounds like Chica in Security Breach. Staff only.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
She certainly feels threatening.
Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it.
Sure she
Do
does.
you know who is armed? You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job. But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
Do you remember what happened last time?
Last time? If somebody came into my house and stabbed me to death and then I killed him, surely I would remember that.
I hate how sarcastic she is.
But I don't remember it, so it must not have happened.
Last time? What are you talking about?
Is this the first time I've brought it up this round?
Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth.
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that looped back to the start. Someone else has to remember, right?
Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel or whatever it is you think you're doing.
I do think it's interesting that we don't actually have a solid grasp on what that is. I don't know if the game's going to tell us if it's dimension hopping or time traveling. I think it's dimension hopping, but we'll see.
That doesn't sound like me.
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you finally decide you're ready to deal with her? We're clearly still figuring out our angle. We don't have the luxury of watching this from a distance. Oh, I'm sorry, do you think I'm in a position of luxury right now?
I mean, you kind of were.
You're acting like you are.
My entire world is at risk. Then maybe you should behave with a little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way. No, I have my dignity. Fine, then we'll continue to treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated.
Yeah, you tell him.
A knife? What are you talking about? I don't have a knife. Where would I keep a knife? And why would I stab you to death? I don't know you. You haven't given me a reason to stab you to death. It would be so silly of me to cut you open and look at your insides.
Jesus Christ, this yandere bitch.
Okay, I could have sworn we didn't mention stabbing anyone to death. Sounds like she's really out for blood. Fortunately for you, she isn't armed. The princess falls silent, her smile unwavering as you charge across the room.
I do like that her crown changes every time.
Okay, she hasn't pulled out a knife yet, and her hands are still behind her back. I think we can do this. I think we can win. We just have to strike now, but make sure you keep your eyes on those hands. I don't trust her for a second. But your focus is broken by the horrible sound of metal slicing through meat.
Whose meat? Not ours, right?
Hers at first, then yours.
Hehe.
How? What did she even hit us with?
You stare down at your chest and at the long, thin blade she impaled you with. And then the red, angry slit along the flesh of her thigh, where the blade had been nestled just a moment ago. It's still lodged in her leg, emerging from her knee, hinging up and out of her body like some extra metallic limb.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Die mad.
You're going to die now.
I figured. I dropped my mic and I hold on.
With a twist of her knee and a painful squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods.
No, fuck that. If we're going to have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
You're what? I feel dizzy.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
I was gonna say. I want to see how far I can get this chain going. How long can I fuck up? Because I've gotten to chapter 3 before. I want to see how long it goes.
The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
Hey, Hunted, you're back.
Good. It's better that way. Without a fight, no one can win, and if no one can win, then nothing has any meaning.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times?
This is our third?
No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right?
Well, we seem to have infinite worlds. I don't know what you're worried.
That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
Nah, impossibly high stakes make the fight so much better.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table, a pristine blade perched.
We take it.
Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually.
We will win eventually. Hell, we might even win now.
What if I don't let you win?
That's a fighting spirit I like to see. You could all learn a thing or two from this one. I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there?
You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right?
There isn't a door, there's just that mirror.
There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
If it's in our way, let's just break it and move on.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it.
Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open.
And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
It was never there. Just an illusion.
Let's just get to the princess already. I didn't care about the mirror before, and I care about it even less now.
Guess it's time for us to see her again.
Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
How long can I let her kill me?
You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom. Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Damn. Thanks, roast me, I guess.
She's got another thing coming if she thinks we're going down easy again.
Think. Another think.
Pride makes us dead. The only thing that matters is survival.
Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once.
Winning for me is finding another way to die, so.
Nothing bad has come of it yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered. The past isn't real. There's only here and now. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor.
Cool. Super.
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
I'm gonna try floating with her.
Now,
Sure.
I've tolerated quite a bit from you, but this is a bridge too far. Please don't try romancing the princess. She wants to kill you. She's going to end the world if you don't stop her.
Yeah, but like she's hot.
Yeah, do we have to flirt with the murderous monster?
We don't know that she's murdered her. Like she killed
I'd
us.
rather not. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Can't say I mind either. If it weren't for all the cheating, I'd say she's pretty cute. Can we flirt by fighting her, though?
Give her the look. How about let's do this.
A rosy blush flushes in the princess's cheeks, and a wide grin cuts across her face.
Oh, is that how it is? Yeah, okay, I feel that. I like you too.
Oh, be damned, this is actually going to work, isn't it?
She's so cute. I love her.
But why mess around with appetizers when the main course is right here?
Or not? Oh, I like her. I like her a lot.
Me too.
Blush still glowing in her cheeks. The princess closes the distance between you, blades flashing.
That's fair.
She skewers you.
Yep.
Ow. What worthwhile romance doesn't hurt at least a little bit? What
God, that's a new
matters
one.
is that she likes us. She's even said as much.
It's a new one.
Oh, a new one of us.
Hey.
I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I don't like that we died without us knowing it. This really, really blurs some lines that I prefer not to be blurred. Are we still dead? Are we alive again? How are we even supposed to know the difference?
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
Stop it. You can't say it like that. That's too cute.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her.
I love how he's thinking with gaming strats. That's great.
We don't need any other voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. All we need is to keep fighting. Yeah, I'll pass on that. As long as we keep moving. We'll win her heart eventually.
Yeah, we will.
Come on, show me something new.
Stab me, mommy. It doesn't work and she kills you again.
Then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything.
Contrarian.
We're
he's
tougher
back.
than I thought.
Oh, he's back. I'm so happy.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps.
What's the point? It's all the same.
She skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet. You gotta keep going.
She sounds like an over-enthusiastic preschool teacher, and I don't
Do you see that? We almost had her. That was luck. But we only have to get lucky once. Just panic. Flee. She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up.
Our friendly security staff can help you. She sounds like Chica from Security Page.
Okay, let's go again. She's going to kill this body either way, so stop feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah, that was a good one. Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time, that's all we need. None of this is working. Think.
The skeptic is back.
She skewers you. And then everything goes dark, and you die.
Finally. Yeah. Chapter 4.
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from here. Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
Wait.
Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window? Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
Okay.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top.
Yeah.
There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them? Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time. Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover. Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only... It's fine. I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this. Don't care. Just want to win. Fine. You make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that.
I love her so much.
I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
Is it a puppy?
I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it, though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Are you going to say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts.
I am so sorry for everyone watching. This is horrifying.
She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Smash.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Yes.
Holy shit! She's gorgeous.
Ah, yeah!
Absolutely divine.
Yeah, this guy.
Yes, behold, the perfect woman.
Yeah.
Do you think we can throw her out the window?
Maybe.
That looked painful. How is she still alive? Heart's still beating, that's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
This
All right,
is all
sir.
just a
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
You do not act in action provided moves on its own. She strikes out as you approach, but her blow finishes its arc. You're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
Thank you. Your weapons flash again and again. You enter the rhythm free of thought and free of self. Only the days, the ebb and the flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your heart beats. Now, the faster your momentum travels. Endlessly building crescendo, then beginning. The blade strikes free of volition. Yours strikes too. Both strikes will be equal. Neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear this tonight. This is a good one. Cool. That was fun. She's so hot. I will play. You do not get to see each other then. However, it's time for you to leave from your friends. You do so. Gaze into the
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last. We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Cool.
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
I'm gonna kill the narrator. I do want to kill the
If he
narrator.
drives
actually.
you towards my destruction, then he is steeped in delusion, for he does not know me. Just as I hold compassion for you, and you hold compassion for me, you can hold compassion for those who have wronged you.
Yeah, but I want to stab him. What? Destroy your body? I don't know what that means.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Yep.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
This has been a lot of fun. That was round 4? I don't know how many endings there are, but I've been informed that there are 5 total endings. No, I did 4. That was the 4th one. There was... can't someone else do this?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
Right.
You make your way up
So,
the short
yeah,
path
speak
to the cabin.
this. Actually, hold on, real quick. How many endings are there? Excuse me. Okay, so I think I do just have to do one more ending. So, one more. Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls up the blade is your image.
Right.
You take the blade from the table.
So,
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it...
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. The blade tumbles out of you.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Do you? So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking. Don't jump to any weird
You talked.
Oh, have you decided what to do with...
You know why you're...
Yeah,
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her...
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one. I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the stairs.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Yeah, okay.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job. You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door I'll hold for very long anyways. And it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece.
Don't forget what you did. Don't forget.
You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
Dope.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't. Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
Yeah, you can.
She steps closer,
I don't
one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Dope.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
No, you stabbed me when I tried to help you out.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. everything goes dark, and you die.
Cool. And again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I don't think lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away.
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
Oh, Paranoid is back.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway.
Oh, look, there's eyes in all windows. I hate it.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Hold on. What happened to the door? It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out, but if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
We should have taken the knife again. I don't think she's going to take an olive branch. We need something sharper.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness.
More eyes, too. You never mentioned the eyes.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Fun, fun.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else.
You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared.
Step off into the void. Fuck yeah.
You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen?
I don't know what I thought would happen.
Congratulations, you really lucked out. Of all the things that could have happened from stepping into a void, nothing is quite possibly the best outcome you could have gotten.
Lame.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Lame.
As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones, visible against the inky black of the basement, mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed.
Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is?
No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you.
Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter.
Go right.
You turn to the right. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
No little knife this time. It's almost like you want me to get you.
I do.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! Think!
Well, see, this is the spookiest route so far.
What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. And how are we supposed to do that? We don't have a weapon. And the way out of here is nowhere to be seen. That isn't my fault. It doesn't matter whose fault it is, because fighting her isn't an option right now. Then you should get looking, shouldn't you? Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
I am what I am. It's not my fault that you can't handle being around me.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then... Well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can move without you, and dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. What? Liver. No!
I knew you'd come around. Oh, this is going to be so wonderful.
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving, and... Do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us die here just make it end faster? Shit. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. With a flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
Come along now. You don't want to be stuck down here.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, The princess glides onto the stairs and beckons you to follow. If only you had a weapon, this would be the perfect opportunity to use it.
But we don't. We've already made our choice.
We can still grab it on the way out.
You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the suggestions for the time being. Just focus on keeping us alive.
Right. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
You step onto the basement stairs, following the princess as she ascends. Pins and needles punctuate your every step, an uncomfortable and constant reminder of your mortality. Is this really worth it?
Yes.
At least it's a choice.
That doesn't justify anything. A terrible choice is still terrible.
Lungs,
Make sure you keep up. We wouldn't want you to fall.
As if acting on instinct, you crane your neck and look behind you. There is nothing there.
liver, nerves,
The princess reaches the top of the stairs and taps on the door.
nerves, heart.
Her head twists back in your direction, watching you with dead eyes as the way out creaks open. Don't forget that your pristine blade is still on the other side. You can still make this right. You can still save everyone. You can still save yourself from becoming her tormented pet.
There's no harm in us having a weapon. All it does is give us more options, and we are dangerously low on those right now.
Have you considered that maybe you could operate the autonomic nervous system for a bit? Everyone is trying to manipulate us, and I can only do so many things at once to keep us alive.
Heart. Liver?
Your body seizes violently as you regain consciousness on the floor of the cabin. No! You're doing it all wrong. You're supposed to do it like this. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. I guess I have to do everything around here, don't I?
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
There we go. Back with me where you belong. I thought you might have decided to break yourself just to spite me. It's better for you that you didn't. Now we can get back to business. For starters, we won't need this where we're going.
The princess plucks the blade from the floor and tosses it through the door behind you. It vanishes into the inky black of the basement, never to be seen again.
Liver, nerves,
Guess we're not stabbing her in the back.
lungs, liver,
Still speaking
nerves,
last night.
heart.
I guess not. I'm going to fix myself a stiff drink. If I'm about to watch you hand the world to her on a silver platter, I'd rather not be sober.
Heart, lungs,
And now you've opened the door.
There's nothing else for us to do.
lungs, liver, nerves.
The doorknob twists in your hand, revealing the forested path beyond the cabin. You bastard. You've actually done it. You've actually doomed everyone.
Liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver,
It's so beautiful.
heart,
I can't wait to ruin it.
liver,
But
nerves,
it's so cold, too.
lungs,
It's itching against my skin.
heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart,
Why is it so cold?
liver, nerves, heart.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. It's calling us. And not in a good way.
That's not right, keeping up. Like this would be easy to see a figure. Things would be able to
I think you know what I am.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far. I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me. Of course, that is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore. Then ask them, and make it quick. I won't last for long now that you can see me. Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me, I can tell you for a fact that I'm right. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. No, I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is? I killed myself. It had to be done, really. None of this would have worked if I was still alive. Nobody living could know about her. I didn't make her a princess, but I wove the idea of her into something your scattered mind could fathom. You chose for that something to be a princess. You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her. Are you lying? I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time's up. Just like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
I am...
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
What happens?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
This is very, Junji Ito. This reminds me very much of Junji Ito. Yeah, let's go.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final piece lies with you.
Body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation. It feels sensation of life so once couldn't fathom. Everything is here except for her. So, if you wings spanning a cosmic scale, the twisted, crumpled, bound in agonized tension to a minor. You feel the glass of the construct suppressing it on you, confining you, crossing the sides of infinite angles. You push back and strike against it.
I love you.
I love you too! Oh my god. You are free to choose with you.
It's magnificent. Everything, just like it always has been, and just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. That was really good. We are seeing 3 points. Nicole Goodnight. We have to put her. She sounded so much like she. She was in SCP Archives. No, she wasn't in 5 Nights at Freddy's. Thank you so much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's a track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI image. That's cool. That was really, really fun. I'm gonna edit this down and cut out a lot of the dead noise, and I'm gonna repost it on YouTube. This was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Tonight I need to go get food, but that updated video should be here. Probably by April 10th at the very latest. Thank you guys for watching. This was a lot of fun, and hope you have a good night.